General Motors, one of the biggest car names, suddenly can't sell its electric vehicles. Yeah, you heard that right. The EV giant is hitting the brakes, and its CEO, well, the panic mode has officially set in. But how did they get here? What's causing this electric earthquake in the auto industry? In this video, we're going to unpack this wild situation. We'll explore the reasons behind GM's sudden EV sales freeze and what it could mean for your next car purchase. Stay tuned until the end of the video, and don't mind subscribing to the channel first. Here are 6 signs that show just how deep this problem runs. Number 6. The Costco Auto program. The Costco Auto program is now pivotal in General Motors' strategy to boost interest in its electric vehicles. GM needs some serious help to get more people excited about them, and partnering with a giant retailer like Costco is a strategic move. Costco's auto program isn't new. It's been around for a while, helping sell about 500,000 vehicles yearly from various automakers. What's interesting now is that GM is leveraging this program for more than just niche vehicles. They've expanded their partnership to include popular models like the all-electric Equinox and Blazer. GM has been in the electric vehicle game for a bit, but after they stopped making the Bolt EV, there has yet to be a standout model to attract the average consumer. It is where Costco steps in. Now, Costco isn't a car dealer. They don't sell cars directly. Instead, they partner with franchise dealers and automakers, offering their members special deals and vehicle discounts. About 3% of all car sales in America are facilitated by Costco. However, GM's interest in this partnership goes beyond these numbers. It's really about the demographic profile of Costco customers. While GM and other EV makers have mainly appealed to younger people and early adopters living in cities, Costco's customer base differs. Most Costco shoppers are between 42 and 59 years old, live in suburban and urban areas, and about 35% earn $125,000 or more annually. GM sees a huge opportunity here. This demographic could be a significant pool of potential EV buyers who have been out of reach until now. By working with Costco, GM hopes to tap into a market segment that hasn't been targeted effectively by any electric vehicle maker before. However, there's some skepticism about this approach. While it sounds promising on paper, it's still being determined whether this strategy will translate into a significant boost in sales. Number 5. Lower reduction targets are the norm. General Motors was one of the first traditional car makers to dive headfirst into electric vehicle revolution. They believed so strongly in the potential of their Ultium battery technology and the overall success of electrification that they set some very ambitious sales targets. Initially, GM aimed for 1 million EV sales within a few years. Later, they adjusted their expectations to 400,000 units by 2025. However, reality soon showed these predictions were overly optimistic. As the market cooled, it became apparent that these targets were more wishful thinking than achievable goals. Even the most enthusiastic supporters of electric vehicles had to accept that this transition would be slow and challenging. The situation became more complicated when GM discontinued the Chevrolet Bolt, their best-selling electric car, despite its older technology. The Bolt was the only mainstream EV in GM's lineup, and without it, the company now relies entirely on its Ultium technology. Looking at the recent numbers, it's clear that meeting their original targets is out of reach. In May, GM sold just 9,500 electric vehicles. This performance led to a revision of their plans. Instead of aiming for 200,000 to 300,000 EVs, this year's new goal is between 200,000 and 250,000. Even this suggested target seems optimistic, given the current market conditions. The growth of the EV market has slowed significantly, and many experts wonder if electric vehicles will make up even 10% of the total market by the end of the year. Number 4. Deception of Ultium. GM put a lot of faith into its new Ultium battery technology, believing it would revolutionize its electric vehicles. The tech was impressive on paper, boasting advanced architecture, high battery capacity, and fast charging rates. GM had nailed it with its batteries, but things went less smoothly once these vehicles hit the real world. Problems with GM's EVs quickly became widespread. Renowned magazines like Edmunds and Inside EV took the new Chevy Blazer EV for a spin, and issues surfaced immediately. It's hard to find a test drive that didn't run into some kind of trouble. For instance, the team at Edmunds bought a Blazer EV, and within just 2 months, they encountered over 20 errors in diagnostics. Their car spent more than 2 weeks at dealerships for repairs, dealing with various software glitches, especially with the infotainment system, and regular system failures, including failed charging attempts. As these magazines published their experiences, more owners began to share their problems. It wasn't just the Blazer EV facing issues. Owners of the Cadillac Lyriq and GMC Hummer all reported similar problems. It became clear that the issue was was much broader, affecting nearly all vehicles based on Ultium technology. The issue's root lies with GM's software engineering team, which hadn't done a stellar job. GM started rolling out numerous updates and revisions to make these EVs more functional, but these fixes came at a cost. Many of the features that were available were removed. Today, updated GM EVs, including their infotainment systems, no longer support third-party connectivity features like Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Number 3. Messy EV strategy. GM's electric vehicle strategy could have been better. If you look at what they've done over the past few years, it's clear they've made a lot of wrong moves. They were so focused on attracting early adopters that they forgot about their regular customers. GM decided to go for premium EVs to make more profit, which meant models like the Chevy Bolt didn't get a successor. Instead, they put all their effort into expensive EVs, even with brands that have always been known for being more affordable. This shift in focus showed a fundamental misjudgment by GM's management. Now they find themselves needing a solid mass-market EV. The Bolt is gone. It'll be a few years before we see anything like it again. GM only recently realized how big of a mistake this was. It will take years before Chevy and other GM brands can establish a sustainable business model for their electric vehicles. The idea of a high-priced Chevrolet or a six-figure Cadillac EV appeals to only some people. The strategy of targeting high-end electric vehicles has backfired. GM neglected the mainstream market, which could have been its strong suit. The Chevy Bolt was popular and affordable, and it could have helped GM maintain a strong presence in the electric vehicle market. But instead of building on that success, GM shifted its focus to more expensive models, hoping to capture the premium segment. It left GM needing a solid, affordable electric vehicle in their lineup, alienating many customers. Most people aren't interested in paying premium prices for a Chevrolet or a Cadillac, especially when there are more affordable and equally reliable options from other manufacturers. Number 2. Hybrids could be the sweet spot. GM was working on advanced hybrid technology, but they stopped suddenly because they believed a quick shift to fully electric vehicles was the way to go. They put all their resources into all-electric cars, which didn't happen as planned. Today, it's clear that the transition to electric vehicles will be long and painful, and it needs to be done gradually. Most customers aren't thrilled with the current electric cars. They struggle with limited range, battery technology, performance, and quality. And on top of that, they're still way too expensive for the average buyer. Most people would instead choose a hybrid because it eliminates range anxiety and other concerns with today's electric vehicles. Hybrids are cheaper, more reliable, and more practical. Unsurprisingly, while EV growth is slowing down, hybrids are seeing a 70% year-over-year increase. Companies like Toyota are making huge profits because they're stuck with hybrid technology. Naturally, GM wants a piece of that pie to offset some of their massive EV losses. Number 1. Issues with dealers. Like every other automaker trying to sell electric cars, GM is facing big trouble with its dealers. Most don't want to sell EVs, and many reasons exist. Firstly, with the current slowdown in the market, EVs are much harder to sell. There's also this ongoing price war because of Tesla, and overall, people just aren't as interested, which means dealers can't make as much profit. Dealers are also annoyed because selling electric cars takes a lot more effort. They have to spend way more convincing their regular customers to switch to EVs, but their commission stays the same. This extra effort for no additional pay isn't motivating. In addition, there are specific requirements for selling EVs. Dealers must invest around thousands of dollars just to get the necessary setup. No one wants to make such a big investment in these uncertain times. It's not surprising that Buick, for example, has already lost half of its dealers because they were pushed to sell electric cars. Currently, EVs seem like a bad investment, and that doesn't look like it will change anytime soon. Dealers are wary of putting their money into something that isn't showing solid returns. The electric vehicle market is still evolving, and dealers will stay hesitant until it becomes more stable and profitable. Now, what do you think about it all? Let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button for the algorithm. See you in the next video.